What does your date of birth say about you? This is an incredible journey. This is called numerology, and I'm super excited to share the concept with you, share the idea with you, and then invite you into a consultation with me because when you know what your date of birth says about you, it is so much easier to make good, clear decisions. You can look around at what's happening in your life and identify it. Ah, this is a lesson that I'm learning, or this is a moment of growth for me, or I'm in a stuck place. How do I unstuck this place? And I think all of those are really powerful things to know about ourselves as we have this human journey, and also to get really clear on what is our soul purpose here. What does our soul want us to know about why we came here? And so let me start way at the beginning and step all the way back out. So, in order to really understand what numerology is and the gift that it has for all of us, we have to think about way back our decision to come and have a human experience. So, remember that all of us, we came as a drop of the divine. And as a drop of the divine, we decided that we wanted to have a human experience. Why? Because we wanted to have a human body. We wanted to have relationships with other people. And we also wanted to have emotions and thoughts and have them in this three-dimensional world that we live in. We wanted that. And we knew from that moment we decided to have that human birth that all of this was going to be for our best interest and for our learning, purely and simple for learning. So, as we came into this earthly environment, we chose the parents, the nationality, the gender, the sexuality, the race. We chose everything, including our date of birth, because we knew that all of those circumstances were perfect ways for us to have this human experience. We're going to learn what we needed to learn. One way or the other, we were going to learn that. And that's really important to keep in mind because our soul, the part of us that is infinite, that is undying and unborn, this part of us wanted to learn more. And the more that we learn, the more that we give back to humanity, we give back to the universe, and everybody grows from our growth. Now, so we chose all of that. And then we also chose our date of birth. And our date of birth says, this is how I'm going to learn. This is how I'm going to learn. This is how I'm going to show up. This is the life lessons I'm going to have. These are my gifts. This is my life purpose. And when I get stuck, this is how I'm going to create change for myself. Really powerful. And again, once you know those answers, it's so much easier to navigate because when those lessons show up or when that part of us gets challenged, we know, oh, this is what I need to learn. This is what I need to dive into. Okay, so that's what we're working with, a really powerful experience. Numerology and astrology are not the same. So, as you know, astrology is based on your date of birth and where all the planets are residing in the universe on the day that you were born. And that is interesting and important because we know that we're impacted by all that is, the environment that we are in, and also the greater cosmos of what we are existing in. Okay, so that's astrology. Numerology focuses on each of the numbers, the qualities, characteristics, and ideas that are embedded in each of the numbers, the number 1 all the way to the number 11. And that's what makes numerology very focused and very powerful, is that each of those numbers from 1 to 11 have very distinct attributes. Not only do the numbers have distinct attributes, but where they fall into your formula also creates a different element of awareness and being able to assess what's going on. Okay, I think that's a really good chunk of information. So astrology and numerology are different. They may say similar things because that's the nature of these things, that when you hit on a chord of truth, it's true all the way through. But they are different and separate sciences. So, like I said before, numerology is based on a numbering system. And each of those systems, so in the world of Kundalini Yoga, there are the reason Kundalini Yoga works so well is that not only do we acknowledge the physical form of us, but we also acknowledge 11 different attributes, our mental and emotional sides, our spiritual sides, energetic sides, conscious sides, and all 11 layers of that particular individual. Again, really fascinating, and it ties into Kundalini Yoga in that way. So once you know what your numbers are and where they sit in the formula, you can also then choose a meditation that will help, a practice, a full length practice that will serve you, and breathing techniques that will help you get through challenging moments in your life and in the time that you're in right now. So numerology can focus on very specific attributes or a big picture. Depends on what it is you're interested in. Okay, so let me break it down one by one. And the best way to listen to this is to think about these numbers in relation to the month you were born. Okay, so that makes it probably the easiest. So think about the month you were born and then which number that falls into. So in other words, January is the number associated with the number 1, and November's associated with the number 11. So far, so good. If you were born in December, that's the 12th month. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Okay, so if you're born in December, you have the same attributes as somebody born in March. Okay, just keeping that in mind. So hopefully you have that clear right now. The month you were born in is also the month that signifies what lessons you're learning in your life. Okay, so really focus on that. The month that you were born in is where you're learning all your significant lessons in your life. I'm born in July, and July is the 7th month. And so when we get to 7, you'll be hearing about me. And I'm going to go through 1 to 11. I'm going to do this as thoroughly as I can, and at the same time, keep it condensed so that you don't get overwhelmed. And you can listen to this for yourself. What are my life challenges? And then hear the number. And then you can also think about all the people in your life and who you know and who you're most connected with. And also, if you know their month of birth, you can also get to know them a little bit better. Okay, so let's dive in, shall we? Okay, so if you were born in January, your month of birth is the number 1. And the number 1 sounds like what it is. First of all, you are a leader. So your challenge, these are the challenges, right? You may have challenges around leadership. In other words, you may be shy, you may hold yourself back, you may not go all out as full as you can, because that's where your challenge is. And so if you notice that you're feeling a little shy, if you're feeling a little bit like, oh, everybody else has a spot in the front and I don't, that's just a misunderstanding. It is important for you in your lifetime to step to the front of the stage, to lead some meetings, to be the leader in your family, to speak up when you need to, because everything about you is there to learn about leadership. And that's where you're going to get all the tests and challenges in your life is where am I not showing up fully and completely, telling the truth of who I am. A very important element because we need you. We need you to lead the way. Okay, so for January, the remedy is always to balance your head and your heart. Because when you get too much into your head, you forget to feel. When you get too involved in your feelings, you forget to use your mind. And so it's really important to balance your head and your heart. And if you're here on my YouTube channel and you're looking for a way to balance your head and your heart, look for that Kriya. Okay, so that's number 1, that's January. Number 2 is February. Your life lesson, our friends born in February, is the feeling of belonging, the feeling of feeling connected to others and connected to something bigger than ourselves. So that's where the challenge lies. How do I connect to others, and how do I connect to a sense of spirituality, a sense of godliness? And the key here is that you are a very discerning kind of person. In other words, you're always aware of where danger is. You're always aware of what could go wrong. And sometimes that kind of pushes you into feeling a lack of trust because you know anything could go wrong at any moment. And being able to trust the moment that you're in, to trust your abilities, to trust what's going on, that's where things get really interesting for you. It's important for you, if you're born in February, to have a teacher. And remember, you can't trust a teacher until you trust yourself. And to really think about staying committed in a situation. So rather than trying to leave or feeling danger everywhere, it's important to stay steady and to give things a little bit of a chance before you decide it's not for you. Remember your connection to a higher power. That is your life lesson. And so for you, the recommendation, if you're born in February, is to consider doing meditations that are about connection, that are about feeling your spirituality, exploring your spirituality, because this is an experience that helps you feel connected. And when you trust the universe, it's much easier to trust people, to trust circumstances. Okay. I hope that was helpful for you. Now, if you're born in March, remember March is the third month, or if you're born in December, this one is for you. If you're born in either of those months, March or December, your challenge in this lifetime is your creativity, your nurturing, and your creativity, nurturing, and socializing. So you may feel like, oh, I don't have a creative outlet, or I love to sing, but I can't because my voice is terrible, or I really want to play an instrument, but I don't know how. It may show up differently. It may show up like, I am not feeling very social. I am feeling introverted. And these are just challenges. These are challenges that allow you to think more clearly about what environments do you want to be in? What is a kind of experience where you really enjoy other people's company and personality? And so that's another element that makes it very important and interesting for you. Okay. The other thing that tends to happen for people who are born in March or in December is that your emotional states go up, 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 and down, 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 down. You go up and you go down. And this could happen in the course of a day. This could happen over the course of a few days or a few weeks. And it takes a lot of energy to get really excited and then really disappointed, or really happy and connected and attached, and then feel alone and miserable and unhappy and depressed. So the key here is to find meditations that help you to clear your subconscious mind. This is super important for you. Clear your subconscious mind. And if you're here on my YouTube channel, what you're looking for is something called Kirtan Kriya, or it's called the Power Pack. And in the Power Pack, you'll have two practices. One is called Sat Kriya, and the other one is Kirtan Kriya. Exceptionally good. Exceptionally good for helping to clear up this up and down and up and down, and this, kind of artist who doesn't fully have a place to be artistic, is to clear up all of that kind of stuff, because some of it is a misunderstanding. Somebody told you when you were really young that you weren't good at being creative, or you didn't have a good singing voice. And I want to tell you right now, they were wrong. And now you just go, please, and find the place where you feel creative, artistic, you feel nurturing, nurtured, and that you like people. Okay, because your archetype, the way that you operate, is like a mother. You're very nurturing that way. And to find yourself in good company so that you can allow those qualities to shine. If you're born in April, then the number 4 is the number that we're looking at. And if you're born in April, the challenge, the learning lesson, the place that you want to think about and watch what happens in your life is in remaining neutral. So if you have experienced this, you may notice that in situations where there are emotional triggers or you're finding yourself um, in relationship with people, you might find that you are reacting a lot. So in other words, somebody says something, your feelings get hurt, and then you say all kinds of things, or you back out of those relationships, or you get really frustrated or angry. So in other words, you are responding to the things around you rather than acting, rather than just being your own neutral observer and having your own life. You're actually quite dependent on people and situations around you. And this is a little bit tiring because everybody's unpredictable. We can't really guarantee what other people are going to do and say, and it takes a lot of energy to try and guess what everybody else is going to do in relation to us. So I want to remind you that coming to neutral, finding a very balanced place in your side of yourself is really important. When you have a choice, when you have a decision to make, I want to remind you to think about the pros and the cons. What's the good elements of doing something? What are the risks involved in doing something? And really get very practical about it, and then choose the option that is best for everyone. Not just what's going to favor one person here or favor you, but what is the best for the collective. And so that's very expansive thinking. And the good news is that you can do it. As long as you get out of your emotions and get out of your head, you can do that. You're very good at it. Because once you get into neutral, you can make very powerful decisions. And I want that for you. So it's important for you to start taking action. Rather than wait to see what other people are going to do, please, you go ahead and do something for yourself and then let people react the way they need to. But it's really important that you take that first step for yourself. Okay. If you're looking for good practices, meditation for trust is really good. And meditation, yeah, I would say with that one, meditation for trust and the meditation for focus and for sweetness. These are really good practices. They help you get back to who you are and allow you to grow beyond that. Okay, so there you go. If you're born in April, that's all the good stuff for you. You're working through your challenges. Now, if you're born in May, so this is the 5th month, you are learning how to live in this body. You are learning how to understand what pain or physical discomfort means. You are learning how to give up your comfort zones so that you can take new action. You can open the doors to new possibility. And remember that new possibility comes with a little bit of risk. So again, you have to come out of your comfort zone in order to have those new experiences. Because you can't keep doing things the same way and then hope for something different to happen. It doesn't work. We have to find a different way of thinking, a different way of feeling, a different way of interacting in order for new opportunities to emerge. It kind of makes sense, but I just want you to hear it in a way that allows you to know that your effort in that area is really going to pay off. Because without a little bit of effort, we can't really create new experiences. You are a teacher. One of the places where you could grow is to teach other people. And so as you become really good at understanding how to sacrifice what's good for what's even better, you become an example for others. And that's a really powerful thing. So here, if you are thinking about working with a particular practice, I would suggest and recommend the Kriya for life purpose. It's also called Param Karam Dharam. You'll find it here on my YouTube channel. And it is a full body flowing type of experience. It's moves energy. It's really powerful. It's beautiful. There's a mantra connected to it. I love that one. I think that for you to have a full body practice is really important because there may have been times in your life where you felt like your body was betraying you. And I just want to remind you that your body is a good lesson for you. It's a servant for you. It's a vessel for you. And the more you pay attention to that, the easier life will be and your health will improve. Okay, amazing. Okay, so if you're born in May, that was for you. If you're born in June, this next one is for you. So if you're born in June, that is represented by the number 6. And the 6th body is about connecting to that which is sacred to you. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Connecting to that which is sacred to you. I'm going to talk about this holistically. Oftentimes, as women, we have been taught to put our own feelings aside so that we could take care of our partners, our children, our homes, our careers, and our own needs and interests went to the side. And I think we can all, it doesn't matter what numerology you have, but this is specifically for you if you're born in June. That is a very common experience. And for you, born in June, this is even more so. And so I want you to meditate on what is your true north? What is the thing that makes you excited, that you would continue to do it even if you never got paid for it? It's exciting for you. It's interesting for you. It gets you lit up from the inside. That's what it is. That's the sacred. When I've done numerology sessions in the past, just want to give you some suggestions. There was one person who said to me, my home is sacred to me. I take care of everything. I've decorated in a very special kind of way. I clean the house, I vacuum, it's all the way, my home is my sacred. That's what I take care of. That's what brings me joy. That's exciting to me. Another person I spoke to, a gentleman that I spoke to, said, my word is sacred to me. Okay, you can see these are very different ways of approaching that same idea. My word is sacred to me. If I tell somebody I'm going to do something, I'm doing it no matter what, because that gives me pride that I can show up. That gives me pride that my word is valuable, that people can trust me. And, if I'm supposed to be somewhere at 6, I'm always there a few minutes early because it's important to me that I'm reliable. And so I want you to think about it. If you're born in June, and actually anybody, all of us, this is important to know, but if you're born in June especially, I want you to be very clear on what is sacred to you, because when you start to go in that direction, you stop getting distracted by other people and you go in that direction. Number one, your self-esteem is going to go up. Why? Because you're not denying yourself. You're going in your direction. So your self-esteem goes up. And secondly, your immune system improves. In other words, your health gets better. And when you're focused and putting your energy into things that are important and meaningful to you, you feel better. Makes sense, right? So again, I'll say it again. It's really important to sit down and meditate on what your spiritual self is asking you to focus on. And especially if you've raised your family and you've had your relationships and now it's you time, you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s and beyond, it's really important that you know this part of yourself and start pursuing it. You'll feel better, I promise. Okay, so that is your, by the way, justice is a very important part for you too. You do not like when you see injustice, when people are being harmed or treated badly just by how they look or where they live or what they don't have. That drives you crazy. And that's an activist by nature. And so I want you to know that that's very valid. And it's important that we have people in our communities and in our lives that are focused on that, because things don't change unless people stand for the truth. And that's you. Okay, so stand and deliver. That's really important. If you're born in July, like me, then here are the challenges that you experience. And you can look at me and say, yeah, okay, so now I know a little bit more about salimah too. When you're born in July, what's important about you is you always be aware of the energy around you. This is called your aura. You can, if you're tapped in, tuned in, and turned on to this, you can influence a lot just by your presence. You don't have to say anything. In other words, if you want to eat French fries, so this is what I do. If I really want to eat something like French fries, I just have to think about it. And then pretty soon one of my kids or Somebody in my life will say, let's go for food. I feel like eating fries. And it happens, that's a very simple example, but it happens with all kinds of things. If I think about somebody, they call me. If I want something, it usually shows up. And I am letting you know that you're very good at manifesting as long as you accept that reality. In other words, you don't pretend like that's not happening, you step into it. It's important for you to have really good boundaries, because you're an energetic being. You are using your thinking thoughts and your feelings to influence. And that means you also have to keep yourself safe. So think about your boundaries. You're incredibly intuitive, and these are all the qualities and characteristics that you need to walk with. These are your challenges. So tapping into your intuition, creating some boundaries, these are really important attributes, and then you feel safe. And when you feel safe, you can manifest all kinds of things. Okay, so please think about that. If you're thinking about, okay, which practice should I use? Any meditation that uses mantra is really good for you, because mantra moves vibration, is a sound, and it creates. And then also any kriya or meditation for the aura. The aura is the space around you. All of those are really important. The next one is to think about, okay, so if you're born in August, this is for you. August is, your challenge is healing yourself, helping yourself change directions, change moods, change thoughts, change feelings, allowing yourself to come out of your bubble and create new thinking thoughts, create abundance. So the challenge for you is to heal yourself before you use your energy to heal others. This is important for you to know, because sometimes you can give away your energy and then feel tired. And so if you want to bring back energy, bring back your vitality, feel confident, feel connected to your body, the best thing that you can do, remedy that you can do, is just acknowledge this for yourself. Yes, I need energy to come back to me. I can't just keep giving, I have to receive. And a really simple practice to do is to focus on your breathing. Focus on your breathing. This is called prana. In the world of yoga, this is called prana. And prana is about breath, taking in life force. So when people say take a big, long, deep breath, that's really amazing, good, simple, basic advice. But on my channel, there is a ton of different breathing practices. Pick one, focus on it for 40 days. And as you focus on it, notice the vitality that comes back. Notice that you're able to think outside the box and that you're able to have more vitality. Okay, so if you're born in August, this is the remedy for you. Take special attention to your breath. Moving on now, if you're born in September, your challenge, your life lesson is to trust your intuition. Trust that you can tap into the bigger picture. Trust that you don't always have to stay connected to all the tiny little details, but you can go way outside the box. And that's important for you, because your ability to tap into the creative part of life, the flow of life, this is what you want to work on. So in other words, instead of being all like caught up in here and being really stuck to a plan and being rigid, you want to think about flowing water. You want to think about, okay, the situation's not going according to my plan. What else could we do here? And let me be creative about that. Okay, so for you, it's about listening closely to inner guidance, trusting your intuition, and remembering that it's important to be transparent, to let your wishes be known, to not use any force, not force people into your plan, but rather flow with what is happening. There's a really interesting practice on my channel called the practice for subtlety, elegance, and grace. Beautiful little practice. It is creating a flow, a really nice way to explore how Kundalini Yoga works, and then also for you to step into your intuition a little bit more concretely. Nice work. Okay, so that's the guidance for you if you're born in September. If you're born in October, we get a whole different, a very contrasted experience. If you're born in October, you are meant to stand out. You're meant to be sovereign and radiant. You're meant to take up a space. And oftentimes, when I have consults with people who are born in October, they say, oh, no, 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 do not put me up on the stage. I want to be way back here behind the curtains, helping people out, supporting others. I do not want any attention on me. Never. I don't want it. And I think, oh, there's a missed opportunity there because that's where your growth is. And it doesn't mean you have to be up on TV or do any of those kind of things. But what it does mean is that any place where you say, oh, no, I'm too shy, or I don't have the skill, or I don't have the talent, is a mistake. Your growth, your opportunity is to not believe that inner voice, to not believe what might have been said to you as a child. You're not good enough. Get out of the way. Somebody else is better than you, or who do you think you are? I want you to recognize that those were people who didn't know how to support you and who had an interest in you not growing. And it's time to take back your power because you were designed to be this person who stands out. And that's okay. It's okay if you attract a little bit of attention. It's important because that's what you were designed to do. So remember compassion, to be kind to yourself, to be expressive with yourself, and allow a little bit more attention to fall on you and to come out of black and white thinking. It's not all or nothing, it's something in between, and to really look for that. If you're looking for a practice, the best one is anything to do with the spine, because the spine is where we find our radiance, where the energy is coming off of our bodies. So anything to do with the spine or the nervous system is a really good remedy for you and to step into your power, because you are very powerful. It's a misconception if you haven't got that memo, you haven't received that memo, and you haven't stepped into it yet. And I want that for you, because when you step into your power, whew, all kinds of things can happen. Okay, now thank you for, if you've got this far, your attention span is amazing. And I want to thank you for listening in and helping to expand your understanding of how these numbers work and what you could learn and glean from it. The number 11, so born in November, you have this challenge, this life lesson of integrating different elements of who you are. So maybe you're a science person with a really creative streak. I want you to bring that into your work, into your life, into your family. Let's say you were born in another country and speak another language and have a different kind of philosophy about life, but you live in another place and that other place has a very different philosophy about how things are supposed to be. It's your job to bring it together. It's your job to bring your young self, your present self, your future self, all sitting here at the table. It's important that the parts of you that you love and that you're excited about, and the parts of you that you're shy and nervous and not so interested and keen on, I want you to bring everybody to the table. Everybody has to eat. Everybody has a role to play. And this is called integration. You have a wealth of experience. The universe is going to put you in all kinds of unique situations and circumstances to show you how to bring all your talent in one spot. So please go ahead and do that. It's really important. And it means that you are taking care of yourself holistically. So nothing gets left aside. Everything, every part of you comes to the same place and operates together. For your spiritual growth in this area, I highly recommend listening to mantra, to using meditations that include a mantra. Mantras are incredibly important because they elevate your vibratory frequency. They have a way of operating in the universe that brings different experiences together. Okay, so we're looking around on my channel. Let's see. Anything with the mantra Satnam, anything with the mantra Waheguru is what you're going to be looking for. And these are really important. Meditation for addictions is really good. because it uses the mantra Satanama. But again, if you have a favorite already that you've already experienced and that you love, go back to that when it's really good for you. Healing childhood anger is a really good one as well. So those are some recommendations if you're born in November, because integration is your key. All right, that's what you're learning. If you're born in December, here's the last one in this long conversation. If you're born in December, remember you go back to the third body. And the third body is about creativity, nurturing, all the good stuff. So please go back, rewind, and listen to everything that I had to say about the number 3, the month of March and December, because those two are similar. Okay, so there you go. There's a really fulsome rundown of all the numbers. Remember, this is just one placement. You have 5 numbers, 5 placements that we actually look at to get a holistic reading. I've just given you a little snapshot so you can get your appetite going. You can learn a little bit more. You get some quick guidance. You know what kriyas and practices to think about and to nurture this part of yourself. And if you're looking for direct guidance from me, which I would love to do, I'll be sitting here on Zoom with you for an hour, and we'll go through all of that together. Plus, you get a summary at the end. And what I'd like you to do is go over to the link in my bio, look for numerology consult, and book your session with me. And we will go through that together and look at each of the numbers and really get a sense of how all this fits into your life. Because remember, this video is one way. I'm giving you generalized information. And when we take all of those other components together, we get a really fulsome view about who you are and what's next, and in the present moment. Okay, super excited to meet with all of you. Please check the links in my bio, book your consult. I love talking with you. It's fun. We laugh, we cry, we do the things, and then you get to change according to your needs. Lots of love. My name is Salimah, yoga therapist. It's been awesome to be with you today. And if you have any questions, drop them below in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, and see you on a Zoom call for a numerology consult. Lots of love, everybody. Bye for now.